Disciple of Christ podcast. This one is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be showing you some violent action on the screen for your entertainment and give a breakdown. I recently had a jiu-jitsu wrestling match against Jacob Hansen of the channel Thoughtful Faith. Jacob Hansen and myself, we've debated and discussed different topics on Ward Radio, used to be Midnight Mormons, as well as his channel, Thoughtful Faith. And we have plenty of disagreements. Sometimes I do get cantankerous and very much a stickler, especially when I feel like somebody's evading answering a question clearly. But I put out a challenge. I put out an invite to Jacob Hansen for us to wrestle one another in a jiu-jitsu match. And he very promptly agreed. Yes, let's do it. He came all the way from Reno, Nevada on General Conference weekend, Saturday, April 6th in Roy, Utah, as we faced each other at the Powerhouse Event Center. Now, a little bit about my background and Jacob's background with the wrestling thing. I've been a wrestler since age 6. My dad got me into it, wrestling the collegiate style rules through my grade school years, and became a very high level wrestler in my junior high years, and even in high school until I dropped out at age 15. But as a young missionary, I wrestled with some of the Mongolian missionaries, some of the other missionaries with wrestling experience, and I even trained a couple of times with the wrestlers at Iowa State University, including the Sandersons, who worked me over, but it was very cool being able to train with those high-level wrestlers. Since then, I have trained off and on jiu-jitsu at different places for a number of years, a few months here, a few months there, primarily at West Side Jiu-Jitsu in Ogden, Utah. The instructor, Mark Johnson, he's a phenomenal black belt and just a great teacher. I really appreciate everything that he's shown. But I am still very much a white belt. I've got a strong wrestling background, what makes it so I can get a dominant position very well, even against more experienced jiu-jitsu guys, but I don't know how to finish from there. So I've been training away so I can finish with hopefully a submission. Jacob Hansen, he is a blue belt. He's a rank above me, and he has competition experience. So both of us are right around the 180-pound mark. He's about 5'10". I'm about 5'7". I'm a little bit stockier. Maybe I had the muscle advantage, but I felt like it was very evenly matched. Let's take a look, and I'm going to give you a breakdown on how the wrestling match went. The entire match is only about 4 minutes long. I'm going to give you a breakdown from a couple of different angles so you'll be able to understand what took place and how it is that I finished this match. Let's get started. 1, 2, 3, boom.
Jacob, IsBell.
Hopefully I do not get a copyright strike. I had a Dropkick Murphys and their song, The Lonely Boatman. Oh, best ever walkout music. Yeah, you're about to hear it.
Whole main event coming at you. Whole main event, let's go.
Let's go. Felt good, felt like a champion coming on out. Jacob Hansen was already there. His walkout music was AC/DC's Thunderstruck, and the snow was right about to happen right as we're taking the ring. It's just barely before the snow started to hit. So a little bit of just staring at each other, shaking hands one with another. And you're hearing Willie Brown in there saying, bring on the pain. You guys got to meet Willie Brown. Just a dear friend of mine. So at the beginning here, we're both posturing up. I feel him pushing against me. I'm pushing against him. He takes advantage of that. Watch this. He gets a really good takedown now. That's called a push-pull. He waited till he felt me push it against him. He pulled. He made sure that I landed trying to posture myself, and he took my back, had me in a dangerous position. I only had a quick moment of feeling like, oh, crap, but then I felt like, boom, head in the game. Just go 2 arms against this one, 2 arms against that one. You're going to see when he tries to slide onto the back, that's when I turn into him, I get into his guard, and I feel like that was the last point at which I was in any danger from Jacob Hansen. But look at the snow. Love the snow. Okay, this one. Turn into him. Be patient. Hold on to his gi. Use that. Okay. So at this point, he's holding on to me tight around the legs. You'll feel like you can see that he locks it around me. I'm getting a little bit frustrated because I don't have room to work and try to work a submission. So as he holds on to me tight, I say, hey, let's go ahead and take Jacob Hansen for a ride. Let's see if he wants to do that. Take a look right here. I'm going to pause for just a moment. Boom. So I'm backing up just a little bit because watch, as I try to grab with my right hand, as I try to grab my left lapel sleeve, that's me trying to get the Ezekiel choke, but he slips his head out and I cannot get it. That was my first attempt at it. And he keeps his legs wrapped around me tight. So I say, all right, Jacob Hansen, let's go for a ride. Pick him up. He lets go of the legs. From there, I'm working it. Now I'm going to try to get past his guard because I want to get a submission. There's very few submissions that I would be able to execute from being inside of his guard. Skip forward just a little bit. We end up getting tied up inside of the ropes. I pull him out there. We get tied up inside of the ropes until, as we're tied up, the referee is going to stop us for a moment. So I've obtained full mount. I was threatening with the Kimura for a little bit. We're now moving a couple of feet back inside the middle for the match. Still working. Now, I'm going to show this from another angle because you can't really see how I'm about to finish, but that right arm now goes under his neck. I'm switching angles now. This is where we get moved a couple of feet further inside. And now, watch as I get my right arm underneath his neck. This is where I'm setting up the Ezekiel choke so I can finish Jacob Hansen. My right arm goes underneath. Now, I'm grabbing, right about to. Still working it. He's got me in half guard, but I've got enough room to work and enough room to finish this. My right arm is underneath. Now, watch here as I grab my own lapel sleeve. Here's what the choke is that I'm doing it.
And I slip my elbow in behind his head. There's two ways. One, we can put the hand already on his neck and then get the sleeve and choke. Or if you can hide the sleeve from him, grab the sleeve, come back in, choke. That's it.
And you can't see the tap from this angle. I'll show you the tap from the other angle. That's what I'm working. The Ezekiel choke, he's feeling it. He's flailing with his legs. I'm not giving up. My position is too good. Half guard is not enough to defend against this. You'll see his legs are going to flail, and you're going to see the tap with his left arm. There's the flail. Here comes the tap. Boom. That's him tapping right there. There's the tap. There we go. The announcer thought it was just resetting to the center. That's it. So me and all of my white belt glory against blue belt Jacob Hansen. It was a whole lot of fun. It was an awesome crowd. I know it's frustrating for Jacob Hansen. I'm glad that I did well. I was panicked for just a little bit when he got a really good takedown on me, but I have immense respect for him. Readily accepted the invitation, having never met me in person, and I'm glad that it went my way. It could have gone very, very different. But a lot of people ask, what was the purpose of even having an event like this? Well, it's called Spirit of Joseph Wrestling, and Jacob Hansen is actually the one who named it that. He didn't realize he was naming it. When he responded back to my email, he says, I would hope this would be a friendly competition in the spirit that Joseph Smith set up, because Joseph Smith was known for being a wrestler and being athletic and being competitive in a very positive way. So I named the event Spirit of Joseph Wrestling, and there's going to be even more of that. I wanted this, and I felt it was very successfully a bridge building activity with hopefully some good competition happening. And the reality is Jacob Hansen and I are actually in discussions to perhaps run it back and do it again. I know he was frustrated, felt like he made mistakes that he shouldn't have made, and maybe he'll get the better of me this next time. But you can go to the Facebook page, Spirit of Joseph Wrestling. You can email spiritofjosephwrestling@gmail.com and keep up to date for when the next live event happens. And if you yourself are a competitor at wrestling or jiu-jitsu, you should message me, and perhaps you're going to be a part of that next event. So that's the breakdown, how I got the Ezekiel choke against Jacob Hansen and got him to tap out in all of my white belt glory against his amazing blue belt skills. So thank you, Jacob Hansen, and I hope you guys enjoyed.